Hey mates, my name is Musa. I was born and raised in here in Samsun, and I'm just a junior student at ONU, studying English language teaching department. Um, Kind of like a year ago, when I was at CBU, which is the abbreviation of Janet Busher University, and it is closed now after the COVID. One of my beloved teachers just came up randomly and asked me a question. Musa, do you want to write an academic paper? And I was like, sure thing, why wouldn't I? Because I knew the importance of writing an academic paper, you know, because I'm not thinking of having a job that's mad, so probably I'm just going to look for the opportunities to have a job at, private courses. So the very first question that I may be asked is, Sir, do you have an academic paper? So I just simply wanted to say yes to that question, which is why I said yes to my teacher too. By the way, Miss Aisha Sayan, the advisor of me back then, she is such a character. Okay, if she just watched this anytime, anywhere in the world, I just want you to know that you have been so influential throughout my education back there. And I was just so lucky to have studied with you and sharing all your experiences throughout those 3-year time. Uh, I'm also hoping that you are glad that I'm doing this, sharing this work of us. Okay, back to business. I said yes and wanted to find a topic to write my essay. And the very first thing that came up to my mind was the problems that we had in the department in the field of education in English language teaching. So, do we just bring up English teachers who are qualified with all the skills that are required from an English teacher? That was the point that I wanted to focus uh, on my essay to say. So this is on the screen reflected the essay that came as a result of our work. You can see the topic, the negative effects of undergraduate placement examination of English on ELD students in Turkey. This article essay is published on participatory educational research. Um, as you can see, it is not uh, too long ago, kind of like a year ago, was accepted and published. So we can say it is reliable. Its reliability is pretty um, current and good. Um, we'll just dig into this. We'll just look at it in detail in the presentation that I'll just show you in a couple of minutes. Um, we'll just look at all the things, the methodology, participants, data results, and everything. Okay, so this is the long form of it. If you can just contact me um, throughout my email that I'll probably just share down the YouTube at the bottom side of the YouTube. Um, you can just get the whole article, but we can just keep going on with the prezi, with the summary of the article, which is going to be pretty useful for you to widen up your perspectives. So, okay, there we go. The topic was about the effects of foreign language proficiency test on ELT students, and I was the presenter as Musam Kirmaslan, and here is my beloved teacher, Betül Ayşe Sayın. And the purpose of the study that we had was to explore the perceptions of English language teaching department freshman students in Turkey towards undergraduate placement examination of English, which is termed as LWS 5, and display the problems in the content and structure of these standardized tests. Okay, university entrance examination. It is a high stakes exam. Uh, by means, we can say that it is pretty important for the students. So think of KPSS. Without taking that exam, you can just become an official of the government. So without taking this exam, you can get placed at a university. So this is a high stakes exam without any questions, undoubtedly. This university entrance examination is divided into two different categories, one of which is the higher education examination that we abbreviate as YGS or YGS, according to the way that you'd like to say. This exam has four different divisions, each of which has 40 questions. The categories are mathematics, science, Turkish local language, and social science. What makes it crucial? The fact that if you can't get enough grades or points from the first step of the examination, you can't qualify for the next step, which is called as now we're going to see undergraduate placement examination or LYS. LYS has it ranges from LYS 1 to 5, and each different category examines or tests different skills. But we'll just dig into LYS 5 in this session, which is related to languages. So LYS 5 has vocabulary, written, and grammar skills. So they are tested in LYS 5. It includes them all. But what about the exclusion, the lacking side of LYS 5? It doesn't have listening section at all. It doesn't have speaking at all, nor writing. So all the skills that we see on the right side of the screen, listening, speaking, and writing, they are neglected. So let's see what the result of this is going to be. Okay, differences between the university education and university examination. We'll just look into this. We had 3 different research questions. The first one of which is LYS exam comprehensive enough to measure the basic skills necessary to learn a foreign language? Do ELT students feel competent enough for their department in their freshman year at the college after preparing for LYS exam? What kind of changes are necessary in the LYS exam in order to measure the competency levels of language students? Okay, LYS 5. Back in 2010, we had 100 questions in it and written grammar and vocabulary sections. And it was restructured in 2010 and reduced to 80 questions. But the structure in itself, the content did not change. It was still reading, grammar, and vocabulary testing. So yes, the number of the questions was just reduced, but the content was still the same. So simply nothing changed. So, but when we just look into the changes happening all around the world, we can just see some differences, some betterments. People just betterize their exams in different ways. So in China, the National College English Test, which consists of 3 different tests, called as Bank 4, Bank 6, and Set Spoken English Test. They just test all the 4 skills, and if they can find such ways of testing speaking, writing, and listening, Why can't we? We can just simply see the way that they're doing it. Maybe we can just slightly changing it, can copy it with our own way. Why not? Also, some other positive changes in the world are seen in Japan, Hong Kong, Sri Lanka, and Israel. Okay, washback effect and the influence of testing. Gates defines washback as the influence of testing on teaching and learning. Washback has its own two different parts as positive and vague. If it is substantial, useful test for the test taker, it is a positive washback. But if it is not a significant test, which doesn't take into consideration what happens in the language classroom, it doesn't go to the point, so no way it's going to be positive, but simply it's going to be a big washback. Hypothesis or test on teaching and learning. This is a long thing to talk over, so I'm just simply pass it because we are running out of time. Methodology, it was quantitative data and survey questionnaire. We had 74 Turkish students whose ages were ranging from 18 to 34 from CBU and OMU. And we had 9 items to check. Yes, no questions, checklist questions, Likert scale. Okay, and data analysis. This is important. LBS 5 exam preparation results. Did you only prepare for the language skills that are required on LBS 5 examination? And 70% of the students said yes. So they neglected the other skills, listening, writing, and speaking, which is bad. Frequencies of the language activities practiced in high school. As you can see, the speaking, listening, and essay, writing essay skills are totally neglected, under 25%, and the other things are above 95%. This is horrible, but the reality. Again, the frequencies of useful language sections asked in LS 5 for students. So, as you can see, they are all related to grammar, vocabulary, reading, translation. So, simply memory skills. And the next one is the opinions of the students. I think LS is a good way of testing my level of English. So, as you can see, 20 students said, no, I don't agree with this, and 25 students said, yes, I agree with that. But there are also around 30 students who said, I'm not sure. So people are not sure about them. Because I performed well on the LS exam, I can perform well in my college classes. So as you can see, again, the majority says, no, this is not correct. Even though I performed well on LS 5, I'm having difficulty in my classes because of my English. As you can see, the majority said yes, totally yes. They are not testing our English levels in a good way. If you had a chance to change LS 5, what would you add? As you can see, not more grammar, not more reading, vocabulary, or translation, but listening, speaking, and writing. This is what the students ask for. Please take it into consideration. So, discussion and suggestions. What the findings profoundly reflect are 4 skills should be emphasized, okay, not just grammar. Unnecessary question types should be omitted, and the priority and emphasis given to grammar should be reduced. So in conclusion, we can say the emergence of the problems in Turkey, in language examinations in Turkey, as we can see, LS 5 examination needs to be revised and restructured, and innovative methods should be brought and applied. Okay, we are just running out of time, which is why I had to just be that much quick. Thank you for listening, but we should know that the government, with the way that they examine the students, they just kill the next generation. They have to change the way that they test the students and prepare them for the future. Okay, this is a huge problem.